All right. I know, and you're on my live stream. You might be. Yep. So we got 2 people on right now. Three now. See if I can get at least like 10 maybe. What's going on, Moses? I don't think we'll get many people on here, but figured you can get it started. Everyone else can probably just watch the rest of this afterwards, because I am going to talk a little bit about the G8, the SS, and kind of what the future plans are. Most definitely. You got that right. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, a couple more. Let's see what we got. I don't know how to. What's going on, Brian? I don't know how to actually share it on Instagram. How would you? Oh wait. Okay, here's the share thing. I guess I can copy. I put it on Facebook. Guess I'll share it on Facebook as well. And then see how that goes. Gotcha. Let me see. So copy. But I guess I gotta do it through my phone. This is all kind of crazy trying to do the laptop and then the phone thing. So, not sure how I would. Let's see. Go to my channel. There we go. There we go. Whoa, double. To share. Copy link, and then do an Instagram story. Let's see. Okay, and then tell people how do you. I'm going to need to link something. No, how do you? Yeah, this thing is pretty confusing. I don't know how you would add like the whole swipe up, swipe down kind of thing. I mean, I can kind of post the link, but that's about it. But I don't know how you can actually get a link. How would you kind of get a link on there? I can't get the link to. It doesn't let me. But can't figure. I think it'd be a lot simpler. Discard. How would you go do something? Take a normal picture. And then you go ahead and do paste on it. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but I guess I can. Oh, settings. Maybe something in my settings that I can. Oh, whatever. That's a flash. It's all good. I'm sure people will actually see this later on because I'll have it put up like a video. But anyways, I guess it's just me, you, and I guess Brian. I can't really tell who's actually online or not. All I know is the number of people that are online. But yeah, so today I put up that video, changed out the spark plug wires. Those things were kind of getting. One of them was getting really beat up, touching the header. So I got those replaced. So that's all good to go. The weather here has been horrible, so I can't do anything. Can't even take the car out, anything like that. So I'm figure I'll just end up letting the rain go through, and hopefully, if the weather's all good, Friday I should be going to the track and seeing what the car does with the tune and the header. So fingers crossed. Let me see if I can Google this. Add a link to Instagram story. That's one of the first searches that comes up. How to add swipe up to Instagram stories. All right, well, apparently you need to have at minimum 10,000 followers or a verified account to add a link to your story. So Moses, that's why I can't get it, because I don't think I have 10,000 followers on my Instagram. I guess I mean, it's all owned by YouTube now, right? So and all that stuff. So it let's see. I don't even know how many subscribers I have. Let's see. How do you get out of this thing? I am nowhere near that. I am barely at almost 600 followers. So that's gonna take a while, but it's all good, guys. Yeah. So the weather's been horrible. I can't do anything, and but I did that. I did the badge, fender badges. That came out really good, and yeah, it's been one of those kind of weeks where you really can't do much. I've got a couple stuff. Let's see, Hector, how much would you charge to help me put some headers on? Man, I'll just let me know if we got some time. Just bring it over to the house, and if you're here in Houston, we can work on it or something. They are kind of bitch. What kind of car do you have, Hector? Is it a Camaro, something like that? They're typically not too bad. Yeah, I like the way that badge came out too, Moses. But and yeah, header installs, they're not bad. They take they're time consuming, especially if it's the kind of the first time working around a car. Now that I know kind of the things that you got to do, it's a little easier. I think I'd be able to do those headers a lot faster. But okay, yeah, it's not too difficult at all. Like I said, it's probably gonna take about, I would say, maybe 5 6 hours, especially making sure, taking your time doing everything. It took me about 7, and that's with doing a little bit of the YouTube video recording. And yes, that lift does help a lot. The quick jacks, those quick jacks, they are really nice. It made it very easy. One thing that you do, I do need to kind of try to see if I can get is some, either cut into my rubber blocks for the pinch welds, or do something like that. I do have the ZL1 lift points, but I actually ended up putting them too far apart. They're too spread out. So I can use the lift points in the rear, but I can't use the one in the front. Yes, that is the goal if it doesn't rain. if it doesn't rain, I'll be at the track, so that should be fun. But yeah, so the Camaro hopefully can do good. I mean, I think that thing can easily probably run. I'm hoping in 11.5, 11.6 with the headers and the tune. That'd be like about a half a second drop. We'll see. So before we go and kind of get into more of that stuff, I want to kind of talk about, I know a lot, pretty much from one day to another, or even just, I didn't even make a goodbye video, but the G8 and the SS. So I didn't even mention the SS leaving a while back, but I actually ended up selling both of those cars. And here's pretty much why. So the G8 was my just kind of like weekend car. Didn't really drive it during the day, and even on the weekends, I barely drove that thing. That was paid off, obviously, and I ended up spending way too much money on that car. The car, I mean, my first car and everything, and I went through quite a bit of hell with that car. Just a lot of things. When you try to push the envelope and you try to like maximize and max out these cars, it just was one of those cars that definitely didn't. It gave me more heartaches than anything. So this last time out, we fixed it all up again, got it back up and running, and that's whenever I realized every time I would take it out, something else would need fixing, or I would need to upgrade it. And I had pretty much gotten to the limit of that car. And at the same time, making all these videos, and I felt like I needed something that I could start from the scratch, from the beginning. So that's why we decided to go with this Camaro. And so when I bought the Camaro, that Camaro was basically the replacement for the G8. The G8 was a car that I did everything, had done everything. There really wasn't much else to do. I could do an E85 and a few suspension mods, but a G8's a G8. It's a heavy car, 4 doors. It's never going to be a very, very fast car. It is going to be fast for what it is, but other than that, I was just going to be able to just drive it to car shows and things like that. And I wanted something to be more competitive, so that's where I decided to just go ahead and do this this whole change up and get the Camaro. So I tried to sell the car, and unfortunately the car, I guess once you get a built car, it's hard for people to I guess really want to buy it. Trustworthiness, I guess. When you have a fully built car like that, you know, a lot of people don't tend to want to buy those cars unless they've been really well documented. And mine had pretty much everything documented from the engine, but the transmission was still a factory transmission, had 120,000 miles or so in it. And I had done a few things, trans cooler and all that, but never really rebuilt it. And it's been working fine perfectly since. And so that was one of the turnoffs for the car. So we ended up, you know, deciding to get it, I guess you would call it waffled out in a group. And it ended up going to Arkansas. So the car is now in Arkansas. And so it's hopefully got an owner that can enjoy it and drive it and do what he wants to do with it. And so it is what it is. But yeah, I thought about that, and you know, demodding the car, but it was going to be more time consuming, and just something I wanted to preserve it, at least in my image, what it was before. I wanted to get that last, you know, what it looked like kind of thing. I didn't want to have to demod the car. So one of those things, you eventually learn you have to let that stuff go. I really loved my first car, but ultimately, once I got the Camaro, I realized, you know, when it comes to material things, just forget it. Get something. Don't worry. Don't get yourself hung up on some things, because there's always something that's going to be, all that material stuff is all replaceable. And now I've got the Camaro. So that's where the G8 is. The G8 is now out there in Arkansas. Now my SS, the SS, that is actually also gone, and this is why. So I wanted to keep the SS, but and yeah, Moses, I did get what I would have expected for the car, so it all worked out. And so the SS, that one, well, that was actually my daily driver, and I was driving that car to work. That was our work car. So at that time, we had the SS, we had the G8, and we had my wife's Camry. So my wife drove her Camry to work. The G8 was just in the garage, and then I had the SS, which is what I would drive to work. And so the SS is not a fuel saver. It's not a very economical car. That the Camaro gets way better, like almost twice as much gas mileage than compared to the really, man. I'm not even watching the game. I should actually probably put that on. And the SS, basically, I ended up selling because it was my daily driver, go to work car, and the way my situation was with work is I only drove about 2 miles or so. Yeah, you're right. The background audio would probably make that copyright. So I only went to work about 2 miles away from the house. So I drove the car 2 miles to what here in Houston's called the park and ride, and I parked the car in a parking lot all day for and then waited till I got back, and then I drove the car another 2 miles. So I was putting about maybe 4 miles on that SS. I only worked 4 days out of the week, so I was really only driving the car about 20 miles, 25 miles, if that, during the week, a week. So I was paying quite a bit of money on a. I'm actually an electrical engineer. I work for the utility company here in Houston, and so we work in their downtown headquarters in downtown Houston. So yeah, I was basically driving 25 miles a week to work, and out of those 25 miles, the car was just sitting out in the sun in a parking lot. On the weekend, because of the amount of gas that the car saved, any little runs that me and my wife had to do, if we had to go visit family like across town, I mean, we would just drive the Camry because it's more economical. If I wanted to do any type of runs or go on a nice cruise, I had the G8. So the SS literally would just sit on the side of the driveway, and I never really drove it on the weekends. So it just didn't make sense financially to kind of have the SS and the Camaro. I figured I'd sell the SS and just buy myself some little beater car, which I'm still in the hunt for, looking. Not in any rush right now since I don't drive that much. So I was I'm looking for a nice little beater car, something I can buy cash. Let's see, Hector, what do you think about the 2020? I don't really dislike the 2019. I actually like the way the 2019 looks. There's different things you can do. I guess the bow tie placement, I like that. I think that's pretty good. I don't hate the bow tie being in the bumper. It grows on you. But I didn't think just color matching that really would change much of that design. I felt they should have done something like the way, if you guys saw my video 2 videos back when I was asking about what I plan on doing with the front end of my car, where they're blacking out around the DRL lights and kind of blacking out all that colored part. Yeah, the wrap that I plan on doing, where I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna basically color match that front bar, but I'm actually adding black vinyl to all around the bottom lower part of the bumper. It's kind of like this car. Let me see if I can kind of put it up. I had it on the video, and let's see. I like it so much that I have it saved in my uh, I guess photos image, but it's kind of like that. So as you can see how they have the black around the DRL. Yeah, and it probably is. And so I'm trying to I want to try to replicate that using black vinyl over this, and kind of using some nice the knifeless edge cutting tape to try to make that little edge right there. So if they would have done something like this, I think that would have looked nice on the new 2020s. I think that's the bigger problem. I don't think people hated the bow tie badge, and then the other part around this thing. Yeah, and I really like it. I don't know if mine's gonna turn out just as good as that, because I plan on DIYing that stuff. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'll show you guys in the video in a few. Jose Flores. Personally, they're all, if you're staying naturally aspirated. I think there's also another elite engineering or something like that. Really, any of the decent catch cans, will work. At least if you want a very easy install and things like that. I think I guess, is it Mishimoto or Elite's catch can? Those two seem to be pretty straightforward. So if you plan on just staying naturally aspirated, I think having it doesn't need to be the one that I got. Okay, yeah. So if you're going boost, then I definitely would recommend the Mighty Mouse catch can. That one's gonna be probably the better of all of them. If you're gonna be NA, then it doesn't really matter which catch can. You can go with the different one. The thing with the Mighty Mouse and the one that I have is the fact that it actually has that top breather, and it's not really just open, it's actually closed. It actually has a little like valve like a little flap inside. So when you get into boost and you create some positive crankcase pressure, all the blow by would actually go through that and relieve out into the atmosphere. But during normal driving conditions, it'd be nice and closed. So for high horsepower, high boost applications, definitely the Mighty Mouse catch can is probably the best one. And I would definitely look at even emailing. I think it's the owner. I forget what the Mighty Mouse guy's owner name, but you can email him and he could definitely hit you up with all kinds of stuff. Moses. Right now, right now I'm not trying to do any of the weight reduction stuff. I want to see how fast I can get the car just doing the bolt-ons little by little. So we'll see what doing headers in the tune does, and then I've already got the E85 flex fuel sensor on order, so that actually is going to get delivered here sometime soon. So that's gonna definitely bump up the power a little bit more. But before I install that, I want to take it to the track and get the dyno numbers on just the headers and tune on pump gas. And I think the 06 GTOs are actually really nice. My cousin had one, and at some point I thought I'd end up I'd try to get one as a daily and just have the SS, the G8, and the GTO. I think they're really, really nice. If you could find ones that are like, pretty stock, ideally a manual would be really nice. But I don't know about, I wish it wasn't called the GTO, because, the name, the GTO was more muscle and that was more not muscle. But yeah, it's still a really nice car. You know, I actually had a 2015 EcoBoost as a daily before I got the SS for, you know, this is way before before the YouTube stuff. About 2 or 3 years ago, I actually bought when the S550s came out and that EcoBoost model came out. I actually ended up buying the EcoBoost to daily, and at that point I was driving into downtown a lot, and you know the Mustang. Yeah, at least the EcoBoost wasn't bad. It actually got really good gas mileage, and the only thing that I didn't like was their suspension. The car was really rough. It was a fully loaded one. It had the 20-inch wheels and everything, so it it rode really hard, and that's what made me get the SS with I guess the better suspension. But honestly, I mean those 5.0s aren't bad. If I had all the money in the world, I'd probably try to have, you know, a 5.0 and a Hellcat or you know, six Scat Pack or something like that. Um, but but yeah, those 5.0s aren't anything to laugh about. They're pretty quick cars. Um, yeah, so I guess going back to the SS, it it basically was too much car for being a daily, so I ended up getting rid of it. Um, And so now I guess the garage is the only thing we have now is my wife's Camry, and for now the Camaro, and every now and then I have my parents' truck here, so I get to use that. Like today, this week is perfect because it's been raining, so I don't have to get the car messed up. J Dog, yes. So the car is tuned, and it has no catalytic converters. I would imagine if I took that if something happened to the motor and I took it to the dealership, they'd say, "Well, you tuned it, and so there's no warranty on the motor." So yeah, the motor at least is not warranted. I would hope that the transmission still is because I haven't actually tuned the transmission. Um, to tune a transmission on these cars is ridiculous with the 8 speeds and even the 10 speeds. You basically have to pull the transmission control module out of the car, ship it to HP tuners. They do something with it. I don't know if it's a physical hardware thing or if they have to plug in some other things and unlock it. Then they ship it back to you. You install it, and then that's a charge. And then on top of that, you still got to buy the credits for that. So yeah, that's one thing that these cars, I mean, to tune them, before I remember you can go tune your car for maybe what, 300-400 bucks, and they tune the whole thing. 500 if you know the tuner was really good. Now you just the tuner alone wants about 400-ish, 300, depending. Some want even more. And then you still have to buy all the credits and use your own HP tuners. So you have to buy HP tuners, which is about 300 bucks if you want to do the remote thing. But if it's basically very expensive. I think when it's all said and done, once I decided to tune the transmission, just in tuning alone, the tuning charge with the credits and HP tuners, you're looking at about a little under $1,300 or 1,400 bucks, something like that, just to tune the car. So that is something that you guys might want to look into when you're trying to get these new cars. And honestly, if the way things are going, I just read an article on that Corvette and how everything's all integrated now and all the computers are all built together and they've got all this cybersecurity basically stuff going on. They basically going to make these cars impossible to hack. You're going to have to end up going with like a standalone or some kind of thing. Because they're just literally GM is locking these things down really bad, and it's only going to get more expensive. So, see, that's at 300 bucks. That's not bad because your tuner just charged you probably $100 to tune the engine because the credits alone to unlock your ECU is you have to have 4 credits, and those credits are 50 bucks each. So that's 200 bucks. So you got a really good deal if your tuner only charged you $100. So hopefully everything was done pretty good. And yeah, the transmission definitely is going to be a pain. One thing you also have to keep in mind is if you do headers, the way, like I did with the full X pipe, the X pipe basically is going to remove the AFM valves on these new Camaros. So these are separate from like the dual mode like valves in the exhaust tips. These are supposed to close when your car goes into 4-cylinder mode to keep the back pressure going. And so if when you remove those, some people just kind of like leave the motors there, or like disconnect the motors and leave them plugged in, and like just zip tie them in the back and up under the car somewhere. I actually just disconnected them all and just ended up paying, I think it's another 2 or 3 credits to unlock the CCM module, which is where all those codes or those check engine light codes for that are filled under. And so if you that was the only way I could get rid of the check engine light, unless I guess plugged in those motors and zip tied them off on the side. But that was fine because that also let me go ahead and tune my dual mode exhaust to either stay open or closed whenever I wanted to at different modes. So yeah, it's starting to get really expensive on the electronic side of things. Mod wise, I mean, the headers I got were $600 with the X pipe. You really can't beat that. Yeah, they're Chinese, but they fit great. Everything went on smoothly, and I saved myself a ton of money compared to some of those other brands that want like $2,500 for the headers in the X pipe system. Actually, they want like $2,100 just for the headers, and then they want another $1,000 something for the X pipe, which is ridiculous. So you save yourself some money on that. And so I guess that brings me to kind of what the future is for the car. So the Camaro, like I said, it's got the headers and the tune. And I plan on, I've already ordered the E85 flex fuel sensor. I got that from Lethal Garage. They're one of the cheapest ones that I could see online that you could order. It was $225. And you know, all plug and play, so should be very easy to install. Definitely show you guys a video once I get that and install it, but I won't be running it or enabling the flex fuel tune just yet. I do want to get on the dyno. Hopefully next week I can get on the dyno. Monday's my day off, so hopefully I can go then, and then I'll try to go to the track this Friday if it doesn't rain. I really hope it doesn't rain so that I can get that track time. Get that slip and see what it does with the headers and the tune, and then once I do the dyno, then I'll go ahead and enable the flex fuel and start running E85 through it, because without the cats it starts smelling a little bit, just a tiny bit, when you're in behind the car. So flipping over to E85 should kind of help fix that. So these cars from the factory stock, there's apparently this mode that's called the loud rumble or the rumble start or something like that. It's an option that you can adjust in the tune if you unlock that other module. But it basically, even when the car is in tour, loud start mode is called or something like that. So even if your car is set in tour, when you cold start it or when you start the car, it'll actually start the car with the valves open. So for like a few 5 to 10 seconds, the car is really loud, and then it kind of quiets out. But as far as the tour mode, I was able to mod that to where I turned off that mode. So in tour mode, it now starts really quiet, and it's actually not bad. It's really tame. Definitely something that you can live with and wake neighbors up. You won't wake up the neighbors with the tour mode set. And there's really no drone on the highway, even when you put it into the track or sport mode. So my track mode, I actually have it set to be open 24/7. In the stock form, the car actually, even when it's in track mode on like the higher gears, when you're in like the 8th, 9th, and 10th gear, it'll actually close the valves to kind of help eliminate the drone. But I had them open 24/7, and I don't really hear bad of a drone. So if you keep the stock big muffler, I guess, in the back, then you don't have to worry about the drone, whether in loud or quiet mode. What's your average MPG? So before the tune, I was actually getting roughly normal driving about 19 to 21 miles to gallon. Mostly highway mixed in with the city. And I think when cruising, it would go into 4-cylinder mode and all that on the highway. Now I don't have the DOD anymore. I've disabled it, so I still have it, but it doesn't go into 4-cylinder mode anymore. And my mileage is actually still really good with the tune. I guess it's been a lot more calibrated, so I can easily get about 25, 26 miles to the gallon cruising at about 70, 75. And if I go down to like 65, I can get closer to 30 miles to the gallon. Damn. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I would probably never move to California. I can't believe you can't. Do you have any relatives in like Arizona or something, one of the nearby, that you can just order them to their house and then just go pick them up? That's what I would do. But yeah, that sucks. And you can't even like buy them or anything like that. That's if you have any family somewhere else, you know. Well, I mean, I guess that still helps quite a bit. I mean, when I put off these stock headers, they actually didn't look horrible. Obviously, they're not going to be as good as full-length long tube headers, but compared to some of the older style headers that I've seen, they don't look too bad. But yeah, if you could get the headers, have you tried maybe looking online on the forums and trying maybe buying secondhand? I would look in like Camaro 6 or something like that and find someone that hopefully they could ship them. I mean, I don't think that'd be something they would open or check, you know, as a shipping package going into your house. So that would be my best bet, if you could just find them used and have them delivered to your house. So yeah, Roque, the MPG is actually really good. a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially with the disabling of the V8 mode. And so hopefully the car runs good. I think the ultimate goal for me right now, I think we've all seen that. I don't know if you guys have seen Stang Mode, that Stang Mode channel. So they actually he had a car that was full drag pack 5.0, and he had just intake, I want to say intake, headers, E85, and that was it. Just intake, headers, and E85, and he was able to run a 10.9 or 10.98 or something like that. So he ran that 10. Yeah, I used to get about 7 or 8 miles to the gallon in the G8. And so that Mustang, that 5.0, was able to run, you know, a 1098, sorry, 1098 with just intake, headers, and E85. And so that's kind of my goal. I want to see if we can do that with these 2019 Camaros with the 10-speed. That right now I've already got the headers and the tune. Need to get the intake, and I've got the E85 on the way. So really the only thing I'm missing is the air intake, which I still haven't decided on which one I want to go with yet. But that, I've got the drag pack, have the welds. I did keep the welds from the G8, so I've got the 17-inch rear welds and then the front 18-inch wheels. They're not skinnies, but I don't think there's much of a weight difference between the skinnies and the 18x8 versus 18x6 or 18 by 5.5-inch wheels. So I'm not too worried about, you know, that being my stopper. I think now that here I'm at sea level, so in colder weather, I probably won't be able to beat that 10.9 time or get into the 10s in the summer. That's just what it is here, really humid and hot. But I think in the fall, probably before the track closes, I should be, if I just kept the intake, the headers, and the tune, it probably could easily run a 10.9 just on that alone on the 85. I do plan on going with the bigger throttle body. I'm probably going to buy the ZR1 throttle body, ported by Prey, and also an MSD atomic intake, also ported by him, by Prey. So those two, the ported intake and ported throttle body with the air intake, should really, really like elevate the car and easily get it into the high tens, and that's hopefully almost close to what the G8 was running with fully built motor and boost. That's just how crazy, how the weight, how light these cars are, and just how much power they can get out of these new LT1 engines. So it's gonna be crazy, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to see if I can find some runs and do some stuff and see how the car compares compared to all the other cars. No issues so far, Roque. The car has been pretty stout. Haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Just need to drive it some more. Got about 1,300 miles on it, and so put some more miles on it and just enjoy it. Keep modding it. Hopefully, keep putting some money into it and go from there. So it looks like we still have 8 people here, and one thing I want to kind of, for those of you 8 that are here, I want to first of all thank you guys for sticking on here, and 2 is these live things, these live feeds. When I first started this YouTube channel, I did it because all the stuff that I show you guys on my YouTube channel is stuff that I do anyways. It's stuff that I'm already doing, things that I love to do. All the modding on the cars, it's stuff I would have done either way. But I figure I like to be able to show you guys how to possibly do some things and help you guys if you guys decide to do that stuff. So yeah, I guess you know when I first started, it was like a couple 20, 30 people were following me. Now I'm almost at 1,000, 1,100. Yeah, it was raining all around Houston today. So I'm almost at I'm over 1,000 now, and I never would have thought I'd get that far, really. And then in such a short time now, it's been really started coming on once we got the Camaro, and I started doing similar basic Estinkadina. Yep, doing basic mods on it. Hey Luis, so yeah, so basically the G8 is sold. A little quick recap: the G8 is sold, is now in Arkansas. The SS is also sold because it was too expensive of a daily car to be sitting out in a parking lot, only getting driven 20 miles a week, and I needed a more cheaper, basic cheap daily, so I got rid of that. And I guess now we went into the cars. I talked about the car. Basically, I've got E85 coming for it. I already ordered. Looking for the. No, I did not sell the white Camaro. No, the white Chevy SS, not the Camaro. I did not sell the Camaro. I guess I got to differentiate the Camaro SS and the Chevy SS. So no, the Camaro SS is not sold. I sold the Chevy SS, which is the 4-door version of it. And appreciate it, Colossus. Hopefully it can keep going. So yeah, so basically what I was trying to get to, guys, I got 1,000 subscribers. A lot of people, that's definitely not something I would have thought. So I'm like, damn, I got to do something back, and I want to give back. I did do one giveaway, and one thing that I really want to try to focus on is these live chats. I want to try to do probably 1 or 2 a month. We won't be doing too many of these, but the goal is at every live chat to give something away. So, and obviously, the more subscribers I get, the better things I can give away. Just kind of put it into perspective. I'm gonna try to use, now that I'm monetized, and I'm not sure if you guys have been seeing the ads or not. Probably takes a couple of days for that to kind of process. But once those ads start rolling, and more videos start going and the views increase, the little bit of money that I do get from YouTube ad revenue from that, I plan on using all of that pretty much 100% to give back in giveaways. And ideally, in my mind, the way I see it is, we get to, a couple thousand subscribers, 5,000 subscribers. And if in a month I can get, a couple $100, $200, $300, $400, even maybe $500 in ad revenue, then that's $500 that I can give back to somebody in parts. So, and more than not, I'm thinking doing actual performance parts. So things that like giving away air intakes, giving away ported throttle bodies, giving away maybe even HP tuners, gauges, things like that. That's really what I want to try to do because, like I said, all this stuff I do, headers, yeah, a lot of all that definitely. I mean, if the channel grows big enough, where I can do that, that'd be awesome because, like I said, all these videos I'm really doing them. Yeah, I've thought about that. En español estuviera muy bien también, pero por ahorita estoy tratando de que crezca el canal en inglés y después veremos en español. Yeah, so Spanish channel would be nice. Let the English channel grow a little bit, and then definitely start doing some Spanish ones. So yeah, that's as the channel grows. That's really what I want to do is pretty much give back. Like you guys are watching my videos and sitting through those ads. So why not? What better way than to give back to you guys through lives every once every other week or something like that, twice a month, and give away some really good stuff. Because I mean, I've been in other live videos and people give away stickers, give away things like that. And of course, I probably definitely give some stuff like that away as well. But I really want to make it to where like when you join my live, there's something big that you could possibly win. And the more people we have, the bigger these things can get. If I'm getting a couple $100, $500 off, a month of ad revenue, that's $500 that I can do. An air like a Rotofab intake for any, and it could be for any brand, not necessarily just Camaro. I mean, it could be parts for Camaros, Mustangs, Challengers. Because I've got a Camaro doesn't mean I don't like everything else. I really do like all the other cars. The Camaro just was one that I liked a little more, and so hopefully, this is the first one, and like I'm gonna probably cut it here in the next like 5-10 minutes, but hopefully everything works out, and I can start getting a little bit of money back from this so that I can give back to you guys. And ideally, that's gonna be what I'm hoping is gonna be. And in my mind, I'm picturing like a year from now doing a live and giving away supercharger or something like that. Having 50,000 subscribers or something like that. Yeah, that's another thing. I've noticed there's a lot of people from Houston, so a lot of people follow me here in Houston, which is great. So setting up something like that would be good. I know that I am going to try to make it out to a lot more of the even just events here in Houston. Houston has a bunch of car events, Coffee and Cars. I think they have one like every other week now at 2 different locations. So I definitely want to be going out to those. But sure, I'd definitely love to go to this, all the different like shows and stuff. That'd be great. Colossus, I guess I'm gonna start putting the channel's email somewhere in my descriptions so that you guys can kind of email me information, things like that, and that'd be good. Car events and things like that around Houston would be really awesome to show up to. And yeah, and hopefully by September too, I'll have the car will be a lot different because, man, I can't wait to get these. With this rain, it's kind of hindering. I'm trying to get my splitter and my side skirts back so I can put those on. Send them out to paint. And yeah, these 19s are awesome, Jose. They're really, really awesome. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I envisioned. These lives. This is my first one, and I think for this second one I do maybe in a week or two. in 2 weeks. I'll definitely be giving something away then, and hopefully I can just get a lot more exposure, and get my views going up and stuff like that, so that I can be able to give back to you guys some really cool stuff, and try to help you guys build your cars. So with that said, guys, I appreciate all 13 of you guys that are on now. And okay, let's see. How did you learn to work on cars? You just do it as you go. So it was really just do it as I went. I started with the G8. The G8 was the first one I did like the header swap on. And then the bigger stuff, I mean, right now I'm really comfortable doing a lot of the bolt-on things, anything regarding, things that you don't have to open up the engine for. Excuse me. Even like swapping out heads, I think I did that with the G8. So if I needed to, I think I could definitely pull the heads and do that. But really, you just kind of learn as you go. You just gotta a lot of YouTubing. So getting on YouTube and seeing other people do it definitely helps. But mainly just saying F it and going and trying it out. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to learn. You just got to go out there and do it. And so don't ever be afraid and be scared of trying something. Now, make sure you're prepared to try it. So like with me, I've bought a lot of tools throughout the years. I got a lot of different variety of ratchets and things like that help me, decide that and work on the cars. Why did you decide white? So I've always my cars have really all been either white, black, or red. And initially I felt like black was gonna. My cousin has a 5th gen that's black, and the black doesn't really help extend, like show off all the lines the car has, all the edges, especially in the front. It kind of just makes the front look all blobbed in together. So I didn't like that, and so that left me with white or red. And I had the white Chevy SS, the sedan, and I had the red G8, so it really didn't matter. Really, ultimately, the reason I went with the white is because that's what they had at the dealership, and I felt like they gave me a really good deal on the car. So I was looking at a red one that they were going to try to bring in from another dealership, but the price difference between the red one and the white one was almost like $3,000 difference for the exact same package. It had pretty much the same thing, same options, but it was going to be $3,000 more because they had to ship. They had to pay $1,000 to bring it down to this dealership, and then there was $2,000 that they couldn't give me extra discount on because it was coming from another dealership. But the white one, they did have that at the dealership, and they gave me ridiculously good price on it. So that's why I went with white. But I would have been happy with white or red. Anybody else got any other questions or anything like that? Degrees. Yeah, these up here. Yeah, so let's see. One of them is my wife's degree, and then the other two are mine. I've got a bachelor's in electrical engineering, and I've also got a master's in electrical engineering as well. And then up here in this empty space is supposed to be my professional engineering license certificate, because I'm also a professional engineer certified in the state of Texas. I just haven't gotten the frame or anything for that one. Yes. So I found just like this shield logo, like just the shield outline by itself. And I just got on actually on the Mac they have Keynote, which would be like kind of like I guess on Windows PowerPoint, and I opened up the picture on one of the as a background, and then added text, and I brought in another picture of that little turbo that I found as well, and I put it all together. Nah, I just kept going. I just kept going to class, man. It just the professors really. Once you get your bachelor's, the master's is not as difficult. It's just about having the time and being able to go to the class. But yeah, I did make the channel logo by myself, and I actually just made another one, which would look pretty cool. Jose, yes, I'm actually trying. So, like I said, I've got that logo. I did. If you guys saw the shirt that I had made, it had the logo in the front, and in the back, it had like my name, and then it had like top front view of the 2019 Camaro. So that one, unfortunately, I can't actually make many of them and sell them because that Camaro image itself is copyrighted. But I have made another. I did make, usually, everyone makes kind of like the side profile outline view, and then like with their channel name or something under it. I did just kind of finish editing something like that, and I'm looking at seeing how to make maybe some decals with that. With that outline, and then also the shield, and so that'll probably come maybe in a few months, a month or two. So we'll see. So I got one of my bachelor's is actually from St. Mary's in San Antonio, St. Mary's University in San Antonio, and my master's is from U of H. So I didn't go to Texas or UT or the Texas A&M. I'm assuming, Luis, you went to A&M. That's what I would go with. Of course. Um, but yeah, so merchandise, decals, things like that are gonna come. Hopefully, I'll kind of get that kind of ironed out. But like I said, just little things at a time. I never really thought I'd get up to this many subscribers and things like that. So um, we'll see how it goes. So far, I do have a few more things. Like I said, got E85 flex fuel sensor and some other stuff I want to do, and definitely go out to events, meets. I do want to try to also do a little bit of like car showcasing, like showcasing other people's cars, like performance modded cars, or just visual modded cars. I think that'd be pretty cool. Have a little series like that where you kind of showcase locals cars and things like that. Still working on that, but that'll be part of the future. Anybody else got any more questions? Anything like that? Looks like I'm getting close to about time. Was wanting to do this for about an hour, so we're almost to that point. Well, if there's no more questions or anything like that, I want to just thank you guys for being on the live chat, taking some time out of your day. Vet or Viper? I got to give it to the Viper, man. I'm sorry. I would go Viper, especially if I could get one of the new, like a 2014 Viper with a manual. I would go with Viper. Vet, I mean, I would take a Camaro over over a Vet, to be honest. The Vets are it's nothing special. Now the new C8 though, that mid-engine Vet, that's pretty nice. I would probably take that Vet over the Viper. It's all good, man. No worry, Colossus. It's not too hard to drive, man. You just gotta try it out. Camaro or Mustang. I'm gonna go with Camaro, but only because I have it. The Mustangs are nice too. They're really fast. So you can make them stupid fast, and you know, with just and their motor holds pretty decent. The Camaro, I guess, if you really wanted to go boost or hang with those high Mustang cars or the ones that go all out, you pretty much have to get a ZL1 or build your engine on the Camaro. So that makes it a little more difficult. But the Mustangs are nice too. I just wouldn't do Camaro. I would do the Camaro first. Now I would do an SS for sure if I was gonna like mine. I plan on keeping it NA. If I ever decided to do boost, or which probably will happen here maybe in a year or two, I'm gonna want to go back to boost like I had on the G8. At that point, I'd probably sell the SS and buy a ZL1 just because that LT4 motor is way more equipped to handle boost compared to the SS. Not to mention all the fuel and all the stuff that you got to do for an SS to get up to that high power level. And ultimately, the pistons and stuff wouldn't be able to hold it. So I would probably end up selling the Camaro, the SS, and going to a ZL1 if I decided to go back into the boost life. But yeah, I would do Camaro. Anybody else got anything else? Well, all right, guys. I'm gonna call this a good ending spot. I appreciate you guys joining. Thanks a lot for watching. Those that watched in and out, came in and out, or were watching the whole time, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I can't wait to do a lot of cool stuff and do more of these live chats, and hopefully have more than just 8 people. And for you 8, I mean, at least the next one when I do a giveaway, if it's just you 8, I mean, that'll be a higher chance for you guys to win. Probably won't be something crazy. I might try to do maybe some logos, some decals or something. But yeah, hopefully, as we grow more and more, and hopefully you guys spread the word, and we do these lives, I'll give away a lot better things. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll catch you guys and whenever I upload my next video. By the way, make sure you go and watch that last video. Bro, just do my trick homework. I don't care about a giveaway. I haven't done all that math in so long. It's really dumb that I do every math class that you can in college, and ultimately you don't ever even use half of that stuff. You got calculators and computer programs that end up doing all that for you. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys check out my last video, and I'll see you guys. Hopefully the next video I upload will be the one for me going to the track. You guys have a good one.